Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. I first up want to show you, I've had a friend come to visit me today and she brought me a gift from my church, and this was part of the gift. And isn't it just lovely? This beautiful dragonfly on it and this lovely sort of fluted rim around this coffee mug, and it's just, I think it's just gorgeous. I hope you can see that okay. I just wanted to share that with you. I've got my cup of tea in my travel mug because that's safer at the moment, transporting it in the wheelchair. So looking forward to when I'm back on my 2 feet and I can use this gorgeous coffee mug, and that's going to hold a nice sized drink. So just sharing. I thought you might like to see my beautiful cup too. Okay, so today I'm doing a little bit of a backtrack, and I think it was yesterday's or today's, I'm not sure. Today is Thursday. In a recent video I did Roxys Weekly Challenge week 26. Well, I'm taking a step back and I'm going to work on Roxys Weekly Challenge week 25. It's basically a 3-piece cluster using a little kind of formula, I guess you could say, that Rachel did in her video. I'd watched it and then kind of forgot about it, and then I was watching someone else do it yesterday and it was like, oh, that's right, I haven't done that one yet. So let's go ahead and do it. So I've got some book pages out because we need some book pages for this project, and I'm going to feature in the layering some digitals from Teddy Treasure. These are available on Teddy Treasure Patreon. She's kindly provided them to me to do some projects with. So I'm going to use those to make these little clusters with, and then I'm hoping that we can then put them on some things. So some of this stuff is for the second stage and some of it is for the first stage. And I've got all sorts of scraps and bits and pieces that I've already cut into, and some whole sheets that I haven't yet cut into to play with. So hopefully it's not going to take me too long of shuffling through and finding what I want. But it could. Just a warning, it might. Because, you know, nothing's ever as quick as what you think. So I'm going to tear up some book pages into sort of cluster bases. And that'll be the base layer of our cluster. And then we just add 2 more bits. And it's done. So it's actually a very good way of using up scraps. It's a good way of making clusters if you're not sure what you want to do or how you want to do it. Do I want those little... I'll leave those on. And I'm not sure how big I want these, so I'm just going to go a bit randomly. Do some different sizes, different shapes, as in, you know, different dimensions of rectangles. And I could tear these by hand and, you know, make them all not uniform shapes. Oh, I didn't bring my rubbish container over. Oh well, I guess I'll be piling it on the desk then. Yeah, so random bits, and I probably don't want too much of the recipe. Let's go for something different. This one I probably want to do in half, this recipe one, or maybe not quite half. Give us some different shapes, and now we'll go for a different color. So I hope you're all having a fabulous day. I've had a really interesting day today. It's really brought me out of the doldrums of you know, one day sort of sliding into the next and not being terribly different. So I've had my visitor, which was really lovely, and the plumber came because we had bought a slide. There's a new word for you, a slide. What I'm trying to say is a slide shower head. You know, the ones on the rails that you take off and you can run everywhere, which I've wanted for a long time. So we bought that, and we were waiting on the plumber to come and install it, and then he got COVID. So he's just been today and installed that for us. which I'm looking forward to when I'm back on my feet to giving it a proper test run. So that's exciting. And then while the plumber was here, the doorbell went, and fortunately my friend was here, so she was able to go answer the doorbell. So it was all like happening at once. And it was our next load of firewood being delivered, but the plumber's van was up the driveway in the road, in the way, I mean. So he had to go out and move it so the firewood could be delivered into the backyard. So it's just been quite the day, which is fun. It really is fun. And so I got the gift from my friend, which is on behalf of the church. It's so generous, really, really lovely. There was chocolate. You know, you've got to love a bit of chocolate, don't you? Just, yeah, got to love the chocolate. There was a foot soak, which when my foot comes out of the cast, I think is just going to be amazing to give my foot some much needed attention, and a little bit of a foot spa going on would be awesome. So looking forward to that, and this really lovely hand wash in a really cool square bottle. It's really cool. And oh my gosh, I should have brought the packaging over to show you. The box that came in is stunning. And then I didn't realize it until I was putting the bottle back in the box that the inside of the box is all patterned in this beautiful rose print. So you can guarantee that box is going to be used. It's beautiful, because I thought the outside was beautiful, but when I saw the inside, like, it's even more beautiful on the inside. And don't you just love those hidden surprises? I do. And then also, as if that wasn't enough, there was more. And the coffee mug, of course, was a beautiful pair of silver earrings, chosen out by my friend. She's got beautiful taste. She really does. And she had chosen out these very delicate, gorgeous, kind of like in a fan shape, silver earrings. So pretty. So I'm looking forward. I might wear those out on Tuesday when I go to back to the hospital to have my appointment. I feel totally spoilt today. And yeah, completely lifted me out of any doldrums that were, you know, hanging around about poor me and I'm bored and I'm lonely and, you know, all that sort of nonsense. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. So I hope you're feeling good today too, guys. Right, I'm just going to leave it at that and see how we get on. I can always grab more and do more, but I've probably, as you know, I'm not the speediest of crafters here. That's probably more than enough to work on. I will be inking around those as well, but let's see what we might want to put on them. I've got this little pine cone piece. It's a little mini tag. Let's cut it out. Nice straight lines to cut, so it's going to be quick and easy. Really wish I'd brought my rubbish container over though. I can sit and see it here from here. It's mocking me, saying, ha ha, I'm over here. Gosh, and that sounded really childish. Just take me back to the 1970s. Oh, there's another tag. We won't be using that. There's a postcard. Some of this, I haven't sorted this, so just bear with me while I kind of, oh, that would make a good journal card. Have a look at what I might want to do. So I really want to pull out a few options before I go to the next phase. So it's ages since I've worked with these digitals, since before I went and had my operation. And so I'm kind of almost in a place where I'm rediscovering what I had here. And anticipating a bit of fun playing. So hopefully you can play along with something similar or something different, or just listen as you're going about life. I don't know, but I hope you enjoy, and it's great to have your company for this video. I'm probably not going to go too long. I have got my foot up because it took probably about 3 hours yesterday after videoing. I was at my desk for about an hour. By the time I set up, did two short videos and packed down again, I was probably sitting at my desk for an hour, and my toes were little fat slugs by the end of that. And it probably took about 3 hours for them to come back down normal. And that's not ideal to be swelling like that. So I need to just be very aware of what I'm doing while I've got this tight cast on. So all that to say, I am probably going to try and keep this video reasonably short, as short as I can, so that I'm not, you know, not got fat little slugs on the end of my foot again, because that's just a symptom of what's happening under the cast, really. And that sort of swelling can get very painful, and I did have some pain under the cast. So yes, I'm naughty, I know, I admit it. Right, so none of these are actually sideways. So let's go with one that's, I think that's quite pretty there. So I do want to distress everything, so bear with me while I do that. I can do the base layer afterwards, but I can't do the layers I put on top afterwards. Small pieces though, so very easy to whip around. And I'm just going to glue it down. I could messmake and like choose everything out and then glue it all down, but I know I'm going to get frustrated with bits of paper flying around me. So I'm just going to glue down and commit, and that hopefully will make it a bit quicker too, with you know, not double guessing. And that's not at all straight, but it's fine. Right, let's grab a bit of recipe. Somehow I've ended up with quite square pieces. I don't know. Okay, so I'm thinking some of them I might want to pop the third layer under the piece I've already chosen out here. So yes, already I'm doing a bit of forward and backwards. That's okay. Maybe we want to tear a bit of this. This is so pretty. Let's just grab a bit, and maybe we'll do a freehand here, add a bit of interest. And that's definitely too big, but that's okay. So we need to go about there. That's a cool little scrap. I'm going to put that in my container to go in my phone book collage. Do we want that? I think I do want that straight. Okay. Glue it down, commit to it, don't overthink it. Really trying to work on that. I don't think I'm terribly succeeding so far, but if I keep working on it, then eventually I might get there. Now, I'm sorry if this glue book is off camera. You'll see my arm, so you know I'm still here. In the end, I'm covering up mostly those asterisks down the bottom. Just a tiny wee bit peeping through. Love all the neutral colour palette in this too. Neutral and quite soft, quite pretty. Oops. Find the glue out. Oh, My pieces are sticking to my glue page. I think I need a new glue page. Oops. Try not to work off out of camera frame is what I'm trying to say. So I've had a great day. I hope your day is great as well. And I've got just a bit of glue on that, so we definitely need a new glue page. Fold it in half. Okay, so this one, how about one of these little strips that I've got running around? Where did I put them? Oh, here's one. Will this one work? And these are offcuts and bits and pieces from the printables from Teddy Treasure. Kind of wanting to tear that down a little bit. So let's just make it smaller because we can. Thinking, I don't know why, but I'm thinking just across the top. Random. No rhyme or reason, just because. Sometimes just because is good enough reason. Don't you think so? Just because it's what we're feeling or what we're liking, what's appealing, or just because it's what we want to do. Like no rhyme or reason. So this is the concept, is just 3 pieces layered up, starting with book page, and then whatever sort of layers that you want to put together. Easy as. Right, let's see what else we can put on. And using up some of those decorative pieces that you maybe have left over from a project. Liking these blue ones. I love this one, but maybe I'll just cut the tab top off. I'm looking for something that's not a tag. So let's just flatten the top. This is super pretty. Little bird with some beautiful blue tones happening. Right, and I'm just going to cut off that tag part at the top. Just slightly rounded corners. Yes, I like that, and I'm actually wondering about this really cool tape measure in blue. That's really fun. Can I tear it with the ruler maybe? I'm just going to tear that off across there, because that's going to make it easier to deal with. This one's printed on presentation paper, so it's got a lovely feel to it. Very smooth paper. Oh yes, I like that. So let's tear it about there. And I'm actually wondering about inking it in blue. So I'm going to do that. So I'm using tumbled glass distress ink, and I'm just going to go around that in blue. Since we've got a blue theme going on for this one. So while I'm here, I am going to do the base as well, because obviously I'm not going to be using vintage photo on the book page base. It's a recipe for shrimp cocktail. I have very bad memories of shrimp cocktail. I like shrimps, shrimps and prawns and that, but I used to be allergic. I do believe that it was psychosomatic, that it wasn't an actual allergy, but however, for years, if I even had the hint of shrimp in something, I would be ill. I'd vomit. And one time went out to a Thai restaurant with friends. I'd never been Thai or Vietnamese. I think it was Thai. And I'd never been, you know, never experienced that type of cuisine before. And we were sharing dishes and I had some dish. And after a while, there was something in my mouth. And so I pulled it out. It kind of got caught up in my teeth and discovered it was a shell from a prawn tail. And I dry retched. I didn't actually vomit, but I dry retched. And I think it all stems back to when I was about maybe 5 or 6. Or no, maybe a bit older. No, I would have been older actually. Maybe 8 or 9, because my aunt and uncle were in the house that they'd built by then. So yeah, I would have been a little bit older, maybe even up to 10. I'm not sure. And we quite often went there for Christmas, and my aunt had made shrimp cocktails for a starter for Christmas dinner, and it was like something I'd never experienced. I was very young, and I tried some and I didn't like it, but my aunt made me eat it regardless. And I had to sit there and eat this shrimp cocktail, which was just revolting. And I was only a little girl, like it was so far out of my food experience. And I do believe I ended up vomiting after the meal, and feeling very sick. And look, if she hadn't have made me eat it, I think it would have been fine. But it actually turned into quite a traumatic experience. And so I believe that my allergy to shrimp and prawns and that type of thing was just more head rather than actual physical, although it did play out physically. But anyway, over the years I kind of came to a place where I can really enjoy shrimp and everything like that now. Oh, that's cute. I like that. So yeah, we can be funny people, funny humans. We can have really head reactions that play out physically in our body, but that's actually psychosomatic. It's all in our head associated with something traumatic, like being forced to eat something that I did not like on a day that was supposed to be fun and special and happy. Yeah, so that's my... Didn't intend on sharing all that today, but never mind. It just seeing the recipe reminded me of that story from my childhood, and now I love them. My husband jokes that when we got married, he could eat them himself and didn't have to share. And he can't now because I love them, and he does have to share. Same with mushrooms. I used to hate mushrooms, but that was for a different reason. That was because I couldn't stand the smell of them when they were cooking on the hot plate when I had my first job working in a takeaway store, and I had to cook the the ones that come in jars and they reek, and I had to cook them on the hot plate for burgers, and it was just gross. I couldn't imagine eating anything like that. So I used to hate mushrooms. Now I love those as well. So about the only things I don't like now, you're getting a real rundown on my food things, aren't you? Blue cheese. I am allergic to blue cheese. It's like sniffing ammonia. It burns my senses, so don't go there. And I don't like figs. We have 2 fig trees. My husband loves them. I really like that rabbit, but is he too big? That one I think's too big. Yeah, my husband loves them, so he loves the fig tree. And I did try one this year when they were ready, and I still don't like them. And again, I think it's kind of psychosomatic. Well, probably mostly is, because I just remember having dried figs in the cupboard growing up. And one day I was climbing up in the cupboard, because it was quite a high cupboard, and I was looking for something. And I saw this packet of figs, and they were full of weevils, like little crawly brown bugs. And just grossed me out. And so I don't know if you've had a fig, but they're full of tiny little seeds that are quite gritty. And so when I eat a fig, all I can think of is that those seeds are the little bugs. You know, I just can't get past it, and I don't enjoy the fig and the memories it conjures up of these little brown bugs crawling everywhere. Just, yeah, I have no desire. I don't need to eat figs. My husband is quite welcome to eat all the ones that our trees produce. More than happy to not have to share them with me. You know, it's good to have some things. And he loves blue cheese. He doesn't buy it very often because I don't like it. And it's not cheap to get a good one. It's not cheap. But every now and then he'll have a treat. Or if he goes out and it's provided as part of the nibbles or something, then he'll enjoy it then. So he still does get to eat it, just not very often. I can't stand it. And I get really paranoid too. If you're out at a party and there's like a cheese board and there's a cheese knife, I get really paranoid about people using the knife on the blue cheese and then using it on the other cheese. And to the point where I ask people to put out a second knife if there's not one. And then I watch like a hawk, and if somebody uses the one knife on both types of cheese, that's it. I will not touch the cheese. Yeah, I guess I'm a bit kind of extreme with it, but I don't know about you, but having your sinuses burn is not something I enjoy. It's really not nice. Okay, he just about fits. I think I can live with him poking over a little bit, because by the time he's glued on to whatever I decorate up with it, he can be completely on, you know, the journal card or the tag or pocket or whatever. So I really got sidetracked into talking about my food preferences, didn't I? Whether you wanted that or not, you got it. So, you know, fair's fair, sharing and all that. What are some of your food preferences? Are you allergic to anything? Do you have a violent reaction to anything? Do you have something that you love and your partner doesn't, or vice versa? Tell me I'm not the only one that has little food idiosyncrasies or memories or things. You know, only if you want to share. You know, it might be something that you don't want to share publicly, and I completely get that. But otherwise, let me know. Oops, keep your foot. Actually, he looks more like a hare. No, his feet look like a hare. His ears look like a rabbit. So I'm going to go with rabbit. Blends in, but that's okay. I think he looks cute. Okay, am I getting much done? I've got 3 done. That doesn't feel like a lot for the time. I've just been so busy blabbering on that I feel like I'm not actually achieving a lot. Just tear that down a bit more. Let's see what else we've got. Mind you, fussy cutting does take a little bit of time, doesn't it? Ooh, just looking at this piece. Is that too... It's too big for there. Maybe we could put it on one of those two though. So let's cut it out. Cut it out. So sentiment you can take in 2 different ways, isn't it? Like cut out the inane conversation, Belinda. Or stop blabbering and cut the ephemera out. Yeah, nice little pile of trash. So my sleeves keep slipping down. What do we like it on better? I'm going to get rid of that page because it's already gluey. And I need a sip of my tea just to keep me going. Hang on a tick. Right. Oh, and that made my nose run. Gosh. I think this one. I think right in the middle there. I'm not going to do this one in blue. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it in Vintage Photo. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on top. So, and it's a more denim-y blue, sort of a duller, soft blue. Oops, and it has got a direction because it's got like a typewritten font alphabet on it. There we go. And what do we want to pop on top? Do we have anything already cut out that might work? Ooh, that could be interesting. It's not cut out though. Could just put a scrap of something. Actually, I really like that. Call me weird. I think it does need to be something decorative though. I really like that. But then I would need a focal point on top of it. Got some birdies. Oh, saw something else. Scrap of purple. Is that one layer? Yep, it's one layer. It must be on presentation paper. I'm going to do it. I know it's not like the focal point, but I can add a focal point. Like, there's no hard and fast rules, is there? I can mix it up a bit. This could provide me a problem in that I've now got purple and blue, and I have to find something that will work with those colours, but always up for a challenge. Even if it's just a label or something on top. Here we go. Right. So we've got this bit here that I had cut out. So I'm going to go with that, and I think I'll keep it tag shaped. Little mini tag. I do like these mini tags. They're a lot of fun to play with. Whether you keep them as a tag shape or whether you trim across the top if the design lends it. You know, you've got options. There's not a lot happening on this side, so maybe if I pop that over there. Yep, let's stick it down. Like so, and maybe I'll make this the last one because I want to get them stuck down onto a tag or journal pocket or whatever. Journal pocket, I guess that makes sense. Journal card is what I meant to say. And we need something else here. Back we go through the pile. Maybe something in here is, I like that deer. These are Christmas themed, more Christmas themed, but still relatively neutral, like they lend themselves to other times of year. Does it have a name on it? No, I've already cut off the name of the kit that it belongs to. I'm going to keep this tag shaped as well. It's got a different type of tag top on it, but does that matter? I think not. And even if it does, I'm going with it. Actually, I just had a thought. I could even trim off the bottom so that it had the... Let's do that. It's not going to be the same angle, but that's okay. Let's take the corners off. It's more like a label now. So we've turned a tag into a label. Easy as. Yep, let's pop that there. And I have no idea how long I've been going, but I feel like I've been going ages because I got caught up in telling my stories. Oh yeah, it's not going to be a shorter video as what I thought it was going to be. That's okay. Right, so let's grab our pieces and pop aside. I think most of this can go aside. Pop that aside, pop that one aside, and that one, and that one. Just bear with me while I do a bit of organising. Now, I had actually grabbed out some jelly print scraps and other scraps to use in layering, but I've just solely gone with Teddy Treasure printables. And it's fun using them in a different way. Right, so the bases I am also going to use Teddy Treasure Digitals. So I've got these postcards here and I thought they might be quite fun to add these clusters to. Wondering whether I should back this with something. Well, I'd like to get all these pieces glued down, so I may back these pieces. I will see, but I won't do it on camera. If I decide once that I've got these pieces on that they still need backing, then I will do that, but you know how to back things, so not worried about. Yes, okay, let's do that. Oops. Bit more ink on there, and I think this one does need a bit of a focal image or something else added. Just trying to think what I might want to pop on there. And for speed's sake, I'm going to use the tacky glue. And because it's, you know, thicker now with all the layers, so. I really like that. So maybe I'll go ahead and glue these down and then I'll go back and have a look at what might need something else added. I think it's fun having these postcard designs to decorate up. And they're really pretty. I mean, they don't need a whole lot really. Oh, I like that. That's really nice. Okay, and I think I'll do the inking around the edges of the base piece. I'll do that off camera as well. So I did that first one. so you can see what it looks like, and then I'll do the rest of them off camera. But I need to do this now, because once it's stuck down, I certainly cannot. So this is from a couple of weeks ago now, this challenge. You may have already been there, done that, which is fine. You know, there's no time limit on these things. But fun to play with. And using this formula, you have a decorated piece of ephemera very quickly and easily. Okay, this one, maybe we put this one on a tag because it's, well, that one's already got a bird, so we won't be using that one. Let's pop it on that one. It's got purple on it, but that's okay. It's got a subtle bit of purple. This is on presentation paper, this one, so this one probably won't need backing because it's a little bit firmer. Sorry, I've got so much on my desk, you're probably getting lost in the... See, just that. Doesn't that look cool? Simple. You know, you're just taking bits and pieces, layering them up, but so effective. And I think this might be the most amount of ephemera I've made in a video, which is pretty awesome. Good way to use your digitals. Now, I do like shrimp, but I can't imagine a shrimp casserole. That's not something I've experienced, and I'm having trouble imagining that that would actually taste nice. Spread out a bit of the glue from under the paper there. Ah, really happy with that. I think that's pretty. Okay, I've got this bird one. No, they're too wide. Okay. What about these postcards? They're a bit smaller, I feel. Got two florals there though. So maybe not those ones. These ones are plainer, but still decorative. I don't know if you're picking up the texture in the background, but they are still very decorative. I don't want to cover over that whole postcard bit though. What about this scrap? This is just a scrap of a page. So let's do that. I think that looks lovely there. Gosh, I'm now starting to hurry because I'm starting to feel the effects of a little bit of pain building in my foot. It's not completely down, but it's not completely up either. A little bit of pins and needles happening. But I do want to get these done. What do they say? No pain, no gain. I don't think it's really applicable in this instance, but hey, I want to get these done. Hopefully this base bit's straight. I didn't even double check. And I think if my corner, oops, sorry guys, just trying to reach my corner rounder and knock the camera. I wonder if this is going to behave for me. Didn't feel that happy. We got one that didn't work so well. Okay, that's not too bad. We just had one corner that didn't behave. Oops, and I made a hash of that, but never mind, it's curved. Cute. Okay, we have 2 left to do. Can we get those done? What if I trim this down a little bit? Okay, just do it. Don't overthink it. This is the Midnight Meadow kit. Or it's one that goes with that kit. That's what I should say. And then we've just got one more piece to find a base for. This book page is from Wuthering Heights. It's quite fragile paper. It's not super old. It's like from the 60s or something like that, but it's not very good quality. So it's quite fragile to work with, rips quite easily. So it's a good thing to use in layering. So it gives it some stability. Okay, so quite a few of these I need to add something else to, and that's fine. Right, one last piece. Put that right in the middle. Or, that's another idea. Oops, sorry about that. Something clattering. I have an idea, just doing something slightly different to the others. Oh, someone's using a chainsaw in the neighbourhood. They must be dealing with some firewood, is my guess. Given that it's winter, it's time when you hear a lot more chainsaws at work. Normally you wouldn't hear them so much in the urban area, but yep, someone sounds like 2 houses away, I think. Okay, I think I can squeeze it in there. Take that right to the edge. Oh, I think we can make it. I think we can make it. It's not going to be quite enough, but by the time we've inked, I think we can get away with it. Okay, right. Trim off this white because we don't want that. So I'm diverting a little bit. But when Rachel did it, she was she working with paces she already had ready? I know when Gail Augustinelli did this, she was working with bases that she already had. So I'm not. I'm creating bases in some respects while I am for this one. Right. I want to use glue stick for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the postcard as the writing side instead of the decorative side. And then I'll pop, oh, I can feel an area where I've got no glue. No glue whatsoever. Okay, so we're not quite fully on. Actually, there must have been, no, I was right, there was no glue there. I was like, it's stuck down, and it's like, no, it hasn't. Right, so we do have a bit here that's not covered. And I could have put it slightly higher, actually, but never mind. It's going to be a cute little journal card, because I've now got a tiny little overhang at the top as well. Put it up a fraction, it might have fitted. Never mind, it's stuck down now. No biggie, really. So when I ink it, I can disguise that bit that's not covered, and it will be fine. Okay, so this is going to be the front, and then we can pop that there. Awesome. Love it when a plan comes together. Right, so put this one on. I'm going to skip doing the, oh, I don't really want to though. I'd like to finish them off properly, apart from the inking. How long have I been here? Oh, almost an hour. Goodness, I was only going to be like 20 minutes. Best laid plans, eh? So we have this one. I think once it's inked around, maybe around the corners, maybe not sure. I think that one's done. This one could use something, and I'm thinking a bird. Oh, need to put my foot down to reach the birds. And there are birds in the printables, but that would take me time to cut out. So I'm going to go to my box here of already cut out birds from like a field guide type book. No, I want something perhaps with a little bit more colour. No, too big. There, I like you. Let's pop you on, and then that one will be done. I mean, I could carry on and do words or labels, you know, all that sort of stuff, and I can still do that when I go to use these pieces in a journal. There's no reason why I can't add bits later on if I decide that, you know, it just needs something. Right, you can go there. Oh, my silly nose. I have to stop when I've got this birdie down and deal with my nose. Oh yeah, my toes aren't like being down, so I've got to make this quick. There. Oh, aren't you fine? Get your wing feathers down, make sure they're stuck. Cool, that one's done. Just do my nose for a moment. Right, okay, This one I think just needs like a word or a label or something. So I'm going to count that one as done for now. This one is done apart from inking. This one is done, I think. Again, I could add a label up here or something, but I'm going to do that at a later date. This one I feel needs something. So let's look at the birds. I like that. Cool. Okay, that was easy. No arming and ahhing over that one. Just going to pop it down, and I'm not even inking. Just going to put this one down as is. I could cut out in between the legs, but I'm not going to do that either. It's got a mama and a daddy and a chick. This is a New Zealand, oh well, I was going to say New Zealand bird, but it's from an Australian book, so can't be a New Zealand bird. New Zealand native bird. Looks very similar to a New Zealand native bird though. Right, we are done, people, and I do believe this is the most ephemera I've ever created on a video in an hour. So count me impressed by myself. So let's have a little look back at these. So I've got this one, and I will ink around them. I might round some of the corners or not. I've got this one with the cute little bunny. It's got ink crumbs on me. This one, I really like this one. I just need to remember to do blue ink around the outside instead of vintage photo. This one, yeah, it really needs a word or something across there. This little birdie, super cute. And this one where we did the postcard on the back and then the paper, and once it's inked around, I think it will look really cool. Again, I could add a label or a word or something, but counting it done for now. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces done. Awesome, really happy with that. Fabulous project. Do go along to Rachel's channel, Roxy Creations, because these challenges that she does once a week, making ephemera, are really good for building your stash. Okay, with that, take care, and I will see you in another video. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye for now.